Hello, listeners. Welcome back to another episode of the New Block Nerds podcast. I am your host, Chris, aka Prince, with the homie Duran, aka Medic Grizzly. Duran, how we doing today?
Doing good, man. How you doing, B?
I'm well, man. I'm well. I am. We've been talking about this for a while. This
That's why I'm
topic here.
laughing. Yeah, I'm laughing on like the inside right now because like we've been debating this and like friendships could be like line could be drawn in the sand on some of my selections.
I'm laughing, but I'm laughing nervously because Duran and I have not talked about our lists. We just said choose your favorite 5 anime of all time, and we will share them together on the pod. Duran, as you guys are starting to catch on, is one of those going against the grain for the sake of going against the grain kind of people. So I'm very interested to see what his I'm very interested to see what your list is going to be today.
Oh, you're going to freaking probably hate it.
You texted me like a couple of times today saying, "Oh my gosh, my list is going to piss you off." So
it's going to piss you off because it's not a victim of the moment type thing. Like some people like, oh, they see the latest movie and that's the top thing they all have. But the criteria of why something being completed versus not being completed and why it's ranked in your list. Like some people may say, oh, that series is not completed. You can't rank it as high. Versus some will say, yo, season 1 was more impactful than that entire series itself. So it depends on your preference. Why it's your favorite versus my favorite. I'm saying he's the best anime of all time. It's just your preference.
Right. And that's what I want to like. I want to lay I just want to preface this whole conversation with, look, listeners, we like anime. We like comics. I'm sure you guys have plenty of other different opinions, different favorites. These are just things that speak to us. And we have our own criteria. So like me specifically, I don't have any in my top 5 that have not completed yet. Right. So for all my Attack on Titan,
really?
One Punch Man, My Hero Academia folks, I have not put them in my rankings just yet because they have not ended. But that's, we talked about this before, I think on a previous pod, or Duran and I, we've talked about this before. I don't like ranking things before they're completed because I like to evaluate something on its full body of work, right? So while I love Attack on Titan, One Punch Man, My Hero Academia, I have not put them. Now, all 3 of them have the potential to be in my top 5, but it's all said and done. But we'll see how they end. So
I lost the bet. I've already lost the bet. I had wrote down like what I thought was going to be in your list. I had one that was guaranteed to be in your list, but by you, what you just said is not going to be in your list. I lost. Okay. I am curious now. So when you were making this list, young man, how'd you do it? You do it old school, like we write everything down on paper, or you did like a little chalkboard? Like what did you do?
Oh, I'm old school, dude. I got a piece of paper out and I wrote down like 20 anime that just kind of came, just like popped into my head. Looked at the animes and I put stars next to like my favorite 8 to 10.
Okay.
From that 8 to 10, I looked at them real hard. Took me a while. And I tried to rank them best I could.
Okay.
As I feel today. I mean, I don't know. Maybe this could change in a week. Who knows? If you ask me a month from now, maybe the list might be a little different.
I can see that. It's okay.
Yeah. So,
I can't lie to you. My list changed like 5 minutes before this podcast started. Like it's like one of those things where like I'm sorry, bro. Like you have your favorite, but when you get through top 5, trying to squeeze everything into 5, you like 1, hands down my favorite. 2, that can be a push number 1, but 3 through 5 is tough, bro. Because you can go 3 from 7. Like it can be like 1 knockdown to 7, and it's just fine. And any other list, but to knock it to 5,
yeah.
So do you have? We're going to start off with 2 honorable mentions. Like they put up a good fight. They could have been number 5, but they just didn't make it. What's your first one, B?
So you want me to share both my honorable mentions or just one?
No, just do one. Just do one. What's number 7? Let's number 7.
Number 7, and again, this is I didn't rank anything past 5, so this could be number 7. It could be
honorable mention 1.
Right.
Honorable
Honorable
mention one.
mention one is an anime called The Get Backers. This is a very little known anime. I don't know how many listeners even know that this exists.
Okay.
I discovered this randomly when I was, how old was I? I must have been a teenager. I must have been in high school. I just found it like on demand randomly one day. I wanted to like see a different anime I hadn't seen before.
Yeah.
The premise sounded good. I put it on. So the story basically is these two guys, Genji and Ban.
Mm-hmm.
They run a recovery service where they say anything you lost, we'll get it back, and we 100% guarantee that we'll get it back for you.
Okay.
Doesn't matter what it is. It could be fine art. It could be lost memories. It could be a long lost daughter, whatever it is.
Really?
And so Genji, he has like the power to kind of generate like electricity from his body.
Mm-hmm.
Ban, he has like a 200 kilogram like force grip in one hand. And his other ability is he can basically make people have illusions.
Okay.
So they use their powers in pretty creative ways, like throughout the series, to get past certain people who don't want them to finish their job. It's
like some Star Wars type thing vibe, like you will do what I say type thing.
No, it's much deeper than that. It's like
Okay.
I'm trying to think of someone like maybe in the comics who has like almost kind of how like Scarlet Witch can make people see things that are not there.
Yes.
Kind of like that.
Okay.
So that's honorable mention number one. Again, very little known anime. I love it. It's something that like I felt like I discovered like on my own. No one told me to go check it out. So
I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I actually want to watch that one. So thank you for that, because I actually did not even know about that one.
you should check it out. It's an easy watch too. I think it's like, I don't have the episode list in front of me, but I want to guess it's probably 50 to 60 episodes, something like that.
That's solid. That's solid.
Yeah. It's got a pretty good like final arc too. The final arc is it's pretty cool. You should check it out.
Okay.
Okay. So what's your first honorable mention?
First honorable mention. It's actually a new anime. It came out a couple years ago. It's available on Netflix. It's called Megalobox. Or Megaloboxing. Okay. So it's you ever seen the movie Real Steel? It's an old Disney movie. Wolverine. So they have like almost like the mechanical like engineer of boxing. I love boxing. It's my favorite sport. Of everyone knows about me. I love boxing. This is basically in the future, and it shows people are boxing with equipment that give them advantages. It's more hardcore boxing. Whereas a gentleman considered the ultimate underdog said, I'm going to join a tournament. I'm from the scraps. I have nothing without gear. Gearless Joe. And he has to actually go through the ranking and try to define the odds of not being trained, but also living in the slums and actually produce the journey of actually becoming a champion. And how things are not always how the Cinderella story. I love it. It's an underdog story for me, plus boxing, and it's not your typical power-up anime. So on my list, you'll see that there's a lot of things that are not the traditional shonen anime, because I'm weird. But Megaloboxing, it's only like...
admit it. That's because
usually a little bit. Part. Yeah, whatever. So my favorite boxer of all time was Joe Louis. Like there's things like that give me reference of this one. You find Netflix only 2 seasons, and it's a great. I almost was tempted to put it at 5. Almost.
Wow.
Yeah, almost tempted.
Wow. Well, that's why it's an honorable mention.
Yeah, honorable mention. Yeah. So, tell me about your number 6. Honorable mention number 2.
Honorable mention number 2. I'm not sure if this classifies as an anime.
Okay.
Since it was made by Nickelodeon, but Avatar: The Last Airbender is an honorable mention. How is that number?
I won't let that one slide, because anybody who knows, that's an anime.
Okay, well,
that's anime.
Okay, good. Well, I'm glad it fits the criteria.
That's the anime.
Dude, I love Avatar. I mean, again, this is something that's also on Netflix too. I think it's still on Netflix. Yeah,
and they have both of them on there.
Yeah. So, and this is The Last Airbender, not Legend of Korra.
Okay.
I think Last Airbender is is much better for a multitude of reasons I won't get into. But
we gotta do a pod about that.
I love The Last Airbender. I think it's got some of the best fight scenes you'll see in anime. Like the animation is great, the characters are great, the story and the premise is awesome. My only gripe with it is that because it was made by Nickelodeon, it tends to be very kiddie at times. But there are some very, very, very serious and mature moments, dark stuff in this anime. Yeah.
There is.
It's amazing. We do not acknowledge the M. Night Shyamalan movie because that is
why you mentioned it. Why did you
as I mentioned it, right? As I mentioned it. But apparently they're making a live action on Netflix, like a live action TV series. So you know,
it's a strictly animation guy. Our opinions are on the great animations. Please, these live action ones are terrible. Please don't reference those. That's not a part of our list. Okay.
Yeah. No.
You're terrible.
No. If it's not a cartoon, I don't want it.
If it's not a cartoon, I don't want it.
When it comes to anime, yeah. But yeah, man, those are my two honorable mention: Get Backers and Avatar: The Last Airbender. If you guys have not checked out Last Airbender because you think it's like a Nickelodeon thing and it's not for you, give it a shot. Just give it a shot. I mean, it's they're 20-something minute episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Give it a couple episodes. Give it an hour. Just sit on Netflix. Give it an hour.
Jeez.
Let us know your thoughts. But I love this.
We should do a pod about that. And the person also, Mike, shout out to Mike. He got me actually reading the books. I like Legend of Korra more.
You would though. It doesn't surprise me in the least bit.
I do, and it's because it's more mature, the art and just overall storyline of like the consequences and stuff like that. But that's just me. We should definitely pod about that because that's actually I'm surprised that's even on your list. So I'm very proud of you.
I was surprised, honestly.
Yeah. Oh man. So this is the part I'm looking at my list right now. Like, do I change this right here? This not honorable mention. Should it be 5?
Game time decision.
Not. Okay, I'm gonna do it. The second honorable mention for me is My Hero Academia.
Okay, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that
because
I would put it in mine if I didn't have that rule because it's not finished yet. Because I do really like this anime, but go ahead. I'll let you get yours off.
Okay, so the reason why this anime is it could have been higher, but like you said, it's not completed yet. But some of my animes on my list are not completed. But My Hero is the closest thing. When you're a kid, I'm not sure everybody's age around here. I was born late 80s. 90s, 2000s, X-Men was the jump off for us. X-Men was that. This is the closest anime I have ever watched that is X-Men. And it just everything about it, from the different quirks to the not everyone's OP. Everyone has some kind of standard. There is a line of like, yo, who's the best? The internal rival of a team. You have Cyclops, like you have Wolverine, like you have Deco, you have Baku just have different things. And I love the energy of it. Also, it tells you that how every single season, in my personal opinion, has elevated and it's gotten better and better. And that's really hard to do in anime. Sometimes that first season's fire, then that second season's kind of mid, and then you have to go through the whole chain. But it's really good. It's really good. If you have not seen My Hero, I know America loves it. We love it over here because it's the closest thing to a comic book. So that is my second honorable mention. Damn, it hurts me to say that. It definitely could have been top 5.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens, man. You make these lists. Some things, they're not going to make it. I got to give a shout out to my brother for putting me on to My Hero.
Word?
I did not know. Yeah, he was the one who put me on to it. He was like, yo,
okay,
you're going to love it. You're going to really love it. And I checked it out, and I've kind of fallen off. I haven't like really caught up back to where it is now. But yeah, no, it's dope. And I agree with you about kind of liking it to X-Men because there's these different people with all these different kinds of powers and different abilities. I never really thought about it that way, but yeah,
And that's why I was like, so like to me, like you can have your one character and everyone loves them, but you have two. Okay, cool. But when you have multiple characters and they all stand out and you can actually do a side story of just them, that's when you have my attention. Because that tells you that not only did you focus on just the actual storyline, character development, and actually knowing that, like, yo, 10 years from now, where these characters want to be, the whole ranking system towards the end. Like, I am arguing that this could be top 5. Okay. It's going to take an honorable mention. That's where it's going to be at. But when it concludes, it might be top 5 for me.
Okay. It could be for me too. It's just we don't know yet.
I am so surprised you don't have Attack on Titans on your list.
I wrote it down.
That's your baby.
I almost gave it an honorable mention, but I'm gonna hold out. I'm gonna stick to my rule. I'm gonna stick to my rule. Stick to my rule.
So let's turn the temperature up a little bit. What is your number 5?
My number 5. You're gonna like this one. My number 5, as of today, again, it could change. My number 5 favorite anime of all time is Mobile Suit Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans.
Let's go! Let's freaking go! Let's go! I'm sorry that's clapping and yelling too loud for the audience. This right here makes me feel so. Let's go. Tell the fans why. Tell the people why.
So, credit where credit is due. My co-host put me on to this anime earlier this year. Like, not even a couple of months ago, I feel like. And so this is my favorite Mobile Suit Gundam series. Previously, before I watched this, it was Gundam Wing, Mobile Suit Gundam Wing. Again, like Deron said, late 80s, early 90s, we grew up on Toonami growing up. Yeah. So Gundam Wing was my shit. Until I watched Iron-Blooded Orphans, I think the thing I love so much about Iron-Blooded Orphans is, and I was texting you about this, like it's one of those shows, one of the very few shows that I've ever watched that has me like on edge the entire episode because I don't know what's going to happen. Yes. I don't know who's going to die. I don't know if the protagonists are going to make it out safe, if their plan is going to work. I haven't had many shows, let alone anime, give me so much emotion the way that Iron-Blooded Orphans does. So, yes. I mean, the characters are memorable. I mean, it's. Go for it. I don't want to say anything else because I don't want to spoil anything. But if you guys have seen Iron-Blooded Orphans, you should definitely check out our Iron-Blooded Orphans spoiler review that we did. Several weeks back now, probably almost a month. Yeah. Definitely check that out. But if you guys have not watched Iron-Blooded Orphans, it's 50 episodes. Season 1 is 25 episodes. Season 2 is 25. It's a great watch. You will blow through these 50 episodes. It is that good. It is that good. And if you guys are looking for something that's a little bit more mature in tone and kind of storylines, definitely check this one out, man. So I just learned that this anime existed this year, and it's already in my top 5. It's great. I don't have a whole lot of flaws. I really don't have a whole lot of flaws about it.
We're getting the podcast right now. I am so happy right now. You fans don't know, Prince is a real hard person to crack. Like, he has his style of anime. He likes what he likes. So knowing something that just entered your life less than a couple months ago and cracked your top 5, I feel successful. I feel like I love it, man.
I really do. I really
Let's
love it.
Freaking go.
I'm so glad that you suggested that anime to me.
Yes. And now it turns from being happy times to miserable times.
Oh God. What's your number 5?
No, actually, this one might actually surprise you. That is number 5. Vinland Saga is number 5 for me.
Really? I thought Vinland Saga would be higher for you.
I know. Ooh, Vinland Saga is number 5. It is the only anime on my list that could potentially be number 1 when it's all said and done if it follows the manga. It is the first anime that's ever made me go to a bookstore and say, yo, I want to read everything. I want to know what's going on.
Is the manga finished?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So you
Yes.
know how the manga ends.
Not even read all of them yet. I'm almost the end.
Okay.
Almost to the end. Almost to the end. So don't rush it. Don't rush it. Just enjoy the moment. But it is literally from the art to I love Vikings. I love the everything about it's not I'm not a big person on simplicity. Like, like things as far as like, okay, well, if you do task A, task B, you get task C. I like storylines that are clouded, that you get a little muddy. Like some people have to go outside of the line to actually go against things in order to make the outcome happen. In war, there's politics, there's backstabbing. There's literally a lot of things you have to do. And on top of that, you have the revenge story. Then you have the success after the revenge story, but not having success because the revenge didn't go as well you planned. What do you have to do with the whole mental health? It's just everything about this, as far as emotion and just the roller coaster ride it gives you, is very enjoyable for me. And the next one comes out. Actually, it's on Netflix right now. There's actually a trailer right now going around saying that it could be on Netflix within next month for season 2. Season 2, people may not like it because he actually is a farmer. He's not going around doing the whole badass Viking thing. It shows the journey of a child to a man and everything he had to go through and how he went to become this fantastic warrior to now that when war is not present, what do you do? And you have to develop yourself and actually keep going. I love it. I love it. But yeah, it's number 5. I thought it was going to be higher, but it's not concluded yet. It's not concluded.
Yeah, I'm surprised Vinland Saga is not higher for you.
I know.
This is another one that you suggested for me too, and I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I like it, but I am not hooked to it the way I was with Iron Blooded Orphans.
I can see that.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how things go. I'm gonna keep watching. Yeah, I'm gonna keep watching.
I would not be surprised if that becomes a movie one day. Vinland Saga. It's just one of those things where like it doesn't have to be a live action anime. It actually be a freaking movie.
I would bite your tongue, sir.
No, I'm not.
Anime adaptations have never turned out.
No. That's the thing about it. Like anime adaptions with Vinland Saga, it could be a regular casting and make a regular movie. That's how good I think a storyline can be.
That doesn't mean they won't fuck it up.
Shut up. Why? Why you wish that it playing with me? Stop
it.
Hey
man, I'm just trying to be pragmatic here, you know.
What's your number 4, yo? What's your number 4?
All right, so my number 4, I'm sure many anime fans have heard of this one. My number 4 is Death Note. I put Death Note this high because it's pretty much unlike any of the other animes that I typically gravitate towards. It's definitely like it's a very cerebral kind of show where it's just a lot of detective work. You're trying to figure out, what's going on, and like kind of following L throughout season 1, at least, like how he's trying to catch light with the Death Note is it's some of the best writing that like I have seen in an anime.
Yeah,
because like to your point, a lot of animes, I would feel like the majority of animes are kind of like shonen beat 'em ups, with not a whole lot of room for like really good plot. But they took this premise of kind of like having this all powerful instrument, and then turned it into like a cat and mouse. A kind of a cat and mouse game. So I really love that. Again, it's one of those things where like you don't know what's going to happen, and you're always kind of like on edge, kind of expecting the worst for everyone, really. So Death Note's high. It's up there. I think it's since I finished it, it's been firmly in my top 10. It's that
I would say your brother will have that top 3 in his looks.
He probably would. I could see him putting it at like number 2.
Yeah. If I had a top 10, it would be like 10 for me. It's definitely worth the watch. It's definitely worth the quality. I'm not going to knock it in any way, shape, or form. It's different. It's different. Like if you're looking for something, it's not that. And it's good. Good pick. So number 4 is One Piece. It's like, now I'm full of shit. No, it's not.
You're gonna get the One Piece fans to fucking hate us.
Oh shit!
I took you seriously too.
You know it's not on my list.
Hey man, I don't know your list.
But I can't lie. The other day, I was up in the morning and I did watch a movie. I was like, let me just put it on. I'm gonna fall asleep. It wasn't a One Piece movie. It was actually pretty good, but it's not my top 5. So my number 4 is Yu Yu Hakusho.
Wow. Honestly, I didn't think Yu Yu Hakusho was going to make your top 5.
It almost didn't for My Hero. My Hero was the only thing close to it, but then I had to be honest with myself. I could show you right now and put it there, but I had to be completely honest. I grew up on Dragon Ball Z, but not My Hero, Yu Yu Hakusho was the first anime that when your friends talk about it and everybody's like having like group discussions about it, you know it's lit. You know it's lit.
Yeah.
Like everybody has
there, man.
Even Kumaro, like even like his little goofy stuff. Everybody was rooting for everyone. Like Toguro, like you wanted everyone to succeed, and then just it was like tournament style, like just everything about that. And then you look at other anime you love, and you're like, yo, it's not the Dark Tournament. Like it's not that. Like I need that in my life. And some anime like, yo, they're not better than Yu Yu Hakusho. Like that right there, like Yusuke he's an arrogant
He's a real one.
He's a real one. Like, yeah, he's different. Like other anime like Bleach. I love Bleach, but it's not Yu Yu Hakusho. So I will be untrue to the actual real ranking if I did not make a top 5. Like you got to put a top 5.
You know, it really warms my heart to hear you say that.
Don't start your bullshit.
It really does. No, because I'm gonna tell you why. Because you like to throw shade on Yu Yu Hakusho, and you know I'm not gonna stand for it.
I know, but like I was tempted, like I really troll you at first, say it's not on my list at all, but that's not true. It's not true at all. But it's number 5 right now, or 4 right now. I did say Vinland Saga will probably succeed it. My Hero can succeed it. So it might drop out like to 25. I don't know. But just joking. But nah, it's just joking. But right now, seriously, like you have to enjoy that show. It's one of the few anime that I actually purchase every single DVD for. Damn, these are my DVDs. I don't do that anymore. But like that's just
There's somebody listening to this right now saying, "What the fuck is a DVD?"
Yes.
Like a normal person. You bum.
Like on repeat, like I have like remember back in the day, like just we didn't have Wi-Fi all the time. Like we had the AOL, but you could still pop the DVD in and watch it and still enjoy your day. And Yu Yu Hakusho got me through some times.
Damn,
so it's definitely top
AOL account out.
Bro, you know how it was, man. When you had to share the phone, like, yo, can I get in the phone? No, I'm trying to dial up. I'm trying to do all these things. And then when you had the road trip with your parents and like, you know, a little portable pop DVD, just different.
Way too many information about.
I'm just saying
your age right now.
First of all, watch your tone. I look good. All right, I look good. So go ahead.
All right, man. I'm gonna move on. My number 3 is a pretty popular one. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. You got something to say? You got something you want to?
No, it's number 9 on my list. Go ahead.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Again, I feel like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is in a lot of people's top 10s or top 5s. It's a solid all around anime. I mean, it's got great world building. It's got an awesome premise. It's got a lot of kind of parallels and like allegories to modern society. Especially when you talk about like, you know, the deadly sins and all that kind of stuff. Again, great story, great animation, just a solid anime all around. I think it's stood the test of time. It's been well received from anyone that I've ever talked to who watches anime. Brotherhood is in their top 5, top 10 at least. It's very rarely outside of that number. So
great pick,
for me, man, again, it was just a solid anime overall. Again, very minimal flaws in this one
at all. Like even from Full Metal Alchemist to, I personally like Brotherhood better, but you can't go wrong with either one. The overall art, the conclusion of a story, you felt that it was like fulfilling. It was good, really good anime, really good anime. And that's your number 3.
That's my number 3. Yep, we
My hero,
got 2 more.
my number 3 is an anime that most folks probably don't know, probably never heard
Boy.
of.
Oh boy, here we go.
And when I say this, they're gonna be like, "What are you talking about?" But you know what? Who's heard of this? Nigel. Nigel has heard of this. So be surprised. So it's called Monster.
It's animated. Heard of Monster.
Okay.
I never watched it, but I hear it's great.
And Monster is the epitome of a psychopath drama. Like, you are not going to most anime is taking place in Japan. This anime is taking place in Germany. So it's the overall feel of it. You have a doctor who saved a person who they think is I'm not sure if he killed his family or not killed his family, who's going to moral compass of what he should do, not do. And then the person he saves becomes a psychopath killer. And then he has to deal with the dilemma of like, do I chase him down? Do I deal with this? Was I wrong for saving him? And then there's so many more like inner layers of what goes on with the whole destruction of someone's moral compass and what they should do versus what is really going to happen. And this gentleman, like, he just goes in, just plays mind games. And like, every time you think you know what's going on, it does not plan the way you think it is. And then on top of that, the ending, which I'm not going to give away right now, till this day, if you were to Google YouTube Monster, everyone still has their own theory on the ending. That's how great it is. It's also one of the few anime you got to read the manga. You got to read that too.
Oh, okay, without spoiling anything, because I have not seen it and I want to watch it.
Yes.
Would you say that the ending is left kind of ambiguous?
It left, to some, it is. To some, it felt like it made sense. Like, there's arguments to this day about that. Like, there's arguments right now. People are feeling like, yo, I know why to end this way. Like, the writer knew what he was doing. The way he ended, it made you feel like, wait, did I miss something? Wait, rewind, play it again. No, it ended like this.
Is it? You know how many episodes it is?
It's 5 seasons. I don't remember exactly how many episodes it is, but it's a slower pace. It's a thriller. Mm-hmm. So it's a thriller that's actually going to feel like, oh, if you're used to fast-paced anime, you have to appreciate the storytelling. You have to appreciate the walking down the old school mystery times of trying to figure out if I got to pick off every leaf. I also got to turn every stone to figure out what the conclusion is. It is worth every single moment. The conclusion, everything about this anime, it is top 3. Like, it is top 3 anime of all time.
Top 3. I mean,
top 3 because it's not a shonen
by accident.
It's not a shonen at all. Like, it is. Amazon Prime right now has it. You can watch it. If they didn't take it off yet by now, but it's just a thriller, man. And like, you are going through, you feel like gut wrenching, like, yo, this really happened. Like, yo, he was just trying to save someone's life, and then he decided to kill everybody. And they're like, yo, dude, was I wrong for saving someone? This is my job, my doctor. Yeah, it's so cool. It's number 3 for me.
I will check that one out. I'll put
it's slow pace, so don't be on it like, yo, like, this is so boring. No, just wait, enjoy it. Yeah.
All right, you ready for number 2?
You already know what your number 2 should be. Like, matter of fact, I know your number 1 should definitely be.
Well, we're not at number 1. We're at number 2.
Go ahead and say it.
So my number 2,
the GOAT.
My number 2 is Cowboy Bebop.
Fuck it. What the fuck is this, man? Go ahead.
I'm sorry?
Go ahead.
All right. So, look, Cowboy Bebop is a fucking classic. I don't care what you think. Okay? It's a classic. You're not going to find anyone that's going to disagree. It's timeless. It's got fantastic music. It's got great animation, great fight scenes. It's a classic, bro. It's a classic. To this day, it still holds up. Go ahead and rebut me.
I'm not. That's your list. I'm not going to rebut you at all about that. But I have a question though. Outlaw Star or Cowboy Bebop?
Cowboy Bebop.
Okay. So when that same question that's asked you, when we have a group chat later on, you should ask that question. And I guarantee your answer is going to surprise you. I
guarantee that it won't. Okay. I know.
Okay.
You think that there's one person in the group chat that's going to say Outlaw Star, and yes. I'm telling you,
Yes.
There's no chance he's going to say Outlaw Star's better. There's no chance.
There's two people that might say it. There's two people that may say it. I want two.
No.
There's two people.
Nope.
But I appreciate you.
Chance.
Okay.
Anyways, Cowboy Bebop is number 2. It's
okay.
I mean, it's stood the test of time. It still looks good to this day, like the animation of fight scenes.
Yeah.
And I love like even though like the story is almost like it's very episodic. It's very like the first couple of episodes. It seems like the episodes are not being strung together. Like you can kind of watch any, but once you go through the whole, and it's only 26 episodes. When you go through the whole story, you get to see kind of how it was all kind of like weaved together. And there was kind of an overarching plot to it that obviously we won't get into because we don't want to spoil anything. But Cowboy Bebop is great. If you guys are kind of like new to anime and you want something that you can watch quickly and kind of dip your toe into, 26 episodes, half-hour episodes. Great. I mean, Spike is one of my favorite anime protagonists of all time. Very just like
he's cool.
I mean, he's cool. Yeah, I mean, he's
cool.
He's chill, man. He's just, he don't take anything too seriously. That's how I like my heroes, man. Not too serious.
How's the live action one? How you liked about that?
What live action one?
Okay. I'm just asking.
What did I tell you about anime adaptations?
Okay. I'm only saying this now for fans because Prince is probably about to eat me alive when it comes down to my top 2. The one he'll be okay with. The other one I feel like he's going to like want to cancel the podcast. So if it abruptly ends at that point when I say that, just know that he didn't agree with it. So that's your number 2, Cowboy Bebop, right?
I'm bracing myself for your number 2.
Iron Blood Orphans.
Okay. That's fine.
That's one you're gonna kill with. Iron Blood Orphans is my number 2.
Fine. Oh, so it's the number 1 I'm gonna be upset with.
Yeah, hell yeah, you're gonna be upset with it. I already know you're gonna be upset with it. You might like unfriend me, but anyway, Iron Blood Orphans is my number 2 for things that we've already put in prior podcasts. For what you've already stated today in this podcast, it is, in my opinion, how a story should go. You have a beginning story, that actually opening scene that gets you emotionally invested. And then as you go, things just keep pulling at your strings, your heart. Just keep pulling and pulling and pulling. And then you think your heart's being filled, and then no, it gets ripped up again. And like it just goes nonstop. And you just want to like scream, punch a TV. You want to do so many things. Like this could be my number 1 anime of all time. But it's number 2, I would say 2A, 1A, 2A type thing. It's freaking brilliant. The ending is satisfying, but also tearful, emotional, heart-wrenching. Just everything you possibly can think of. But it's also
I wanted to punch the TV several times.
Yeah, man.
Like the same way I felt about like watching Game of Thrones episodes sometimes where like the credits would roll and I'd be like, what the fuck?
Yes. That is why IBO is, and most people don't know about it. They don't know about it at all. You can watch it right now on Netflix. You watch it on Hulu. It is worth the watch. It's only 50 episodes. And 50 episodes of only 20 to 25 minutes. Some people think think like, oh, these multiple TV shows are an hour, 50 episodes, 50 hours. No, most of these animes are only 25 minutes. Yeah, so you can watch it. You go with the flow. It's the first anime that I can remember my wife actually started watching episode 1. I actually got her, who she does not even care for anime at all. She actually said, I'll watch at least 1 episode. I don't know if she watched episode 2 yet. I don't care. I feel like I succeeded because she watched 1. That's all that matters so far. But it's the greatest. It's arguably one of the greatest anime of all time.
It's definitely, and I think both of us would agree, it's definitely the best mecha anime for us. Anyways, definitely.
Is that the first one that's like we had both in our top 5?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, no. Look.
No, well.
Oh, I know. I just, yeah.
Number 1 for me.
What's your number 1?
It's a good segue. My number 1 anime of all time, favorite anime for me, is
Afro Samurai
Show. No, don't you fucking dare. it is Yu Yu Hakusho. Kind of what Duran was saying earlier about the show. I mean, we both grew up on Dragon Ball Z. I mean, if you grew up in the 90s, you grew up on Dragon Ball Z if you watched anime. But for me, and I've said in previous podcasts, I like a protagonist who is not a Boy Scout. I like a protagonist who has a little bit of dirt on him. He's not perfect. And perfect has never been a word to describe one Yusuke Urameshi. The main character of the Yu Yu Hakusho. I love him because he's relatable. Like, he is not some chosen one that they picked because he was a straight A student and he does the right thing all the time and he's always looking out for others and all this other vanilla nonsense that we typically see with your run-of-the-mill hero genre, right? He's hilarious. Like, I feel like I can watch a random episode of Yu Yu Hakusho right now and laugh at it like it's the first time I've ever seen it.
Facts.
For me, he's my favorite anime protagonist of all time.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah, for that reason, and I mean, and you know, when you have 100 episodes of your favorite protagonist, it's easy to see why this is my favorite anime of all time. Also, too, I think it has my favorite shonen tournament arc. The Dark Tournament arc, still to this day, even though it came out in the late 80s, I think, is when it aired. The Dark Tournament saga, you could still put up against other shonen tournament arcs, and it still holds its own animation wise, plot wise, character development wise. It still holds its own amongst, you know, the Naruto's, the Dragon Ball Z's, some of those other like very popular animes. So all four of the main characters, Yusuke, Kuwabara, Kurama, Hiei, I mean, we could talk about Genkai and Keiko and all the other supporting characters, but I mean, they're all lovable for a bunch of different reasons. None of them are the same. They all have their own unique personalities, and you see how they clash. And it's not always a perfect cohesive unit when they're going out there doing things. Like they fuck up and fall on their face a lot.
He is be clashing.
Yeah. And that's what you love about them, because I mean, they are kind of a band of misfits, kind of going through, you know, these different trials that they didn't put themselves into, that they were kind of just thrust into, but you know, they found a way to win, man. And I love it. It's been my favorite. It's held the number one spot for a number of years, and I think
like ever, like it's been like, it's definitely, long as I can recall knowing you, it has been.
It's always been my favorite. Yeah,
it's been your favorite. It's been your favorite. Yep. I can't lie.
Yep. So there's my number one. Yeah. So just to recap mine, I have number 5, Mobile Suit Gundam Iron Blooded Orphans. Number 4, Death Note. Number 3, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Number 2, Cowboy Bebop. Number 1, Yu Yu Hakusho. Duran, bring us home. What's your number 1?
That's a strong 5. Strong five. I'm disappointing you though. I'm disappointed.
God. Why is that?
You don't have the GOAT inside.
Don't do this.
I feel
like
I'm not even gonna put on. As you see, I just want the world to know that this right here is just.
I knew this was gonna be your number 1.
Yes. All right, bet. So we're gonna go into this real
people
quick.
who are just listening who can't see us right now.
Okay, Akatsuki. I had a Akatsuki hoodie right there. Naruto, and the thing with me is that I put Naruto and Naruto Shippuden all as one, because like you can't have one or the other. It is a continuation story. Everything about Naruto encompasses what a hero is to me. Someone who could have gave up. That honestly everybody outlawed. They outcast. They didn't want anything to do with him, but he kept. I had a goal. I want to be Hokage, and kept going and going and going. Yes, he's a goofball. Yes, he messes up, but that man's work ethic was unmatched to anyone. No matter what there is, you may naturally be better at something else. And in life, in real life, how it is, you can be better at me. But if I work and outwork you, the chance of me succeeding over you is very high. And that is what Naruto.
I will give you that.
That is what he encompasses. On top of that, he's also one of the few characters where if he wasn't in the episode that day, you're still okay because the storyline and the character development and the world building was so good. You got Rock Lee, you got Kakashi, you got Sasuke, you got Ichigo. You got so many other characters that everyone will argue about. That's my favorite character. No, that's my favorite character. Like most anime don't have that. So you have a library of people. You're talking about a tournament that you love, the Chunin exams. The Chunin exams,
yeah,
I got awesome. You in there.
Yeah,
I got you awesome. In there.
Yeah.
Like Team 7 alone by itself, like just the three. You have a female Hawk. I know everybody shits on her. She's a female Hawk. She's a medical female Hawk that literally can bust your tail. She's not as flashy as Sasuke, but Sasuke is what everyone loves. The fan base for Sasuke can be a little bit much. It can be a little bit much.
Yeah.
But
I feel like the Sasuke fandom, though, sorry to cut you off, but like the Sasuke fandom is the same people who like they love Vegeta, they love Killua from Hunter x Hunter. They love I'm trying to think of who's the other person that I'm thinking of. Hiei from Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yes.
Like, those fans they're all cut from the same
You
cloth.
Can't say nothing. Like they feel they should be the main character. And I'm not, and the thing about Naruto is he is a main character, but not a main character. And then also what makes an anime great? You have character, you have world building. I've already mentioned that, right? The arcs. Now, people say, oh, well, Naruto has so many fillers. Let's get off your high horse and remember the time when it was made. There was no Netflix. We had Blockbuster, Hollywood Video. You had to actually go rent stuff if you wanted things. Nothing was like a streaming system. So when it came down to these animations and how things were being done, every week they had to pay for these things and get them out there and get the fans to keep watching them. So it wasn't as quick as is now. So the pacing, yes, it may have not have been what we want now, but you had to appreciate it because you had to tune in every single week to find out what was happening. If you missed it, you had to watch a rerun. You had to catch it on the tube. You had to figure out all these things out. And then we go to the progression of you have a sensei, you have Jiraiya. Everything went through with that. Then you have what Saga with Pain. Pain, you could say, is the best arc of all time. You have that right there. Yes, some people love for Naruto. People love Pain. They love that Pain. I love the Jiraiya arc, but they love the Pain saga. They really, really do. You go to Orochimaru, like there's so many different arcs in here that is top tier that it has to be the GOAT. And on top of that, the end of the actual storyline, he succeeded by working his ass off and became Hokage. Let's go.
I mean, look, you
I'm just saying, number one.
You make a lot of really good points though, arguing it, because I will give you that. Like Naruto, in the same vein as some other protagonists like we like, he's not the most talented, he's not the most polished, he's not the most, good looking or accomplished, right? And like I think that says a lot though about like how they built that character to just, I mean, you want to talk about getting it out the fucking mud, man. Like he's only who he is because he worked hard and he never gave up.
Like I didn't mention Garo. Like him and Garo are literally mirror images. One decided to go in the dark path, and one decided to actually say, "I want to do better." They marked this man with a tail beast, and everyone looked at him like the list of like shame because he destroyed the entire town, entire village. This man still wanted to be friends with his people. To this day, that swing thing still makes a tear come down your eye. Just seeing him on the swing by himself. Like, that's some real stuff that him have to work the way he had to work to get where he had to. For everyone to respect him. Come on.
Yeah. I'll give you respect for that one. And look, I like Naruto. Naruto would be in my top 10, I think.
Okay.
But it's not in my top 5, I think.
That's fair.
This is my personal preference. I'm looking at my top 5. I mean, there's not a whole lot of episodes for each of these shows.
Yeah, I can see that.
And you know me, like I don't like super long animes, right? So like, and I did watch all of Naruto, and I got a good portion through, the sequel saga, Naruto Shippuden. But after a while, it's just like, bro, I don't have the time to watch all this shit, man.
Yeah, and the thing, I see that's the whole thing about it too. That people, what I now is like trying to write and appreciate a little more, is that putting the things out takes time. So if you're the writer and you have a storyline you want to put out, but the TV show is catching up so fast to it,
Right,
then
right.
yeah, I gotta make a side story to give me a little more time to put the things out. So if Naruto was made today, do I think it'll be shorter? Yeah, I think it'll be shorter. I do. Um, do I think people would probably appreciate it more? Probably, but you had to be there in that time period. Like to some fans about Naruto, like there's some Sailor Moon fans. I could not get into Sailor Moon like that, but they will beat me up for saying I don't like it. That's how much they're like thugs on the low. On top of that, like my big three, everyone says is Dragon Ball Z. You have your Naruto, you have your One Piece, right? I personally think if you're a Yu Yu Hakusho fan like you are, that's your top tier. There is no other shonen that ever is going to outlaw that one.
Right, right. I feel like
So
everyone has like their favorite
yeah,
show,
you have
like
your
objectively
like
their favorite show.
One Piece
Yeah,
in some people's mind is, and that's still going on right now. Is there is nothing that's ever going to pass that because that's their personal
yep,
thing, and Naruto is just mine.
yep. And that's
The
fair.
journey of
And
not
Yu Yu
have to
Hakusho is
work.
mine.
Yeah, like I had to work to get everything I had. Like I wasn't the best at anything, so it just made me relate to it more. But
Right.
IBO was definitely a close push. I can't lie, it was a close
Yeah,
push.
yeah. I was gonna say as much as you talk about Iron Blooded Orphans, I'm
So
not
good.
surprised that it was within your top three. I'm not surprised
Yeah.
at all. But to go back on what you said about like shonen anime, let me
Mhm.
tell you something, listeners. If you're listening to this and a lot of these names of shows went over your head, and like your favorite right now is Dragon Ball Z, I'm not judging you. However,
No.
what I will say is this: the only reason why you like Dragon Ball Z as much as you do is because Dragon Ball Z was really one of the first anime to really blow up and go mainstream in the West.
Yes.
And what I would tell you is, if Dragon Ball Z is still your favorite, to me that tells me that you have not watched enough anime. Because there are several animes just in the shonen
I don't want
genre. I mean, we just named a few: Naruto, Yu
to.
Yu Hakusho, that I think Dragon Ball Z doesn't hold a candle to. Now, don't get me
And I
wrong.
don't. It
Like the whole
just
Frieza saga, like when I was growing up in elementary school,
Cell
like seeing
Saga is really
Goku
good.
go Super Saiyan for the first time was like,
Yeah.
I mean that's one of like the craziest like childhood memories that I have. Like watching that with my
Yeah.
brother, we're both just like screaming at the TV,
hmm
like absolute buffoons.
And
But
here's my thing. Also, like there's some people that would like. They're probably gonna, once they listen to this podcast, I'm probably gonna text or a phone call from Kingpin. Kingpin loves Dragon Ball Z. Shout out Kingpin.
sorry, Kingpin.
Yeah, he loves it. I will say this: if you're looking for Tekken type, Mortal Kombat type, just arcade type fighting, that is the perfect anime you want.
Yep.
If you're looking for something that has a story where the growth of a person and then the fall of the person and seeing them at the end of the story, not a restart, not every time I respawn in the same spot and I'm powered back up to a regular fight, actually
Right.
seeing the whole story, then Dragon Ball Z cannot be your top anime. In my personal opinion. Not you can like what you like. I'm not going to sit here and knock. You might say, well, Naruto's stupid. Iron Blood Orphans, who ever heard of before? Megaloboxing. What are you talking about?
Right.
But in my personal opinion, it's not in my top 15.
Yeah, no, mine either. And don't get me wrong, like we're not shitting on Dragon Ball Z. Like I totally give Dragon Ball Z its respect for opening the West to anime
Yes.
in a way that
Yes.
other anime just did not. Because I mean, Yu Yu Hakusho came out before Dragon Ball Z did. Maybe not before Dragon Ball. I don't know. I'm not sure of the dates, but obviously Dragon Ball Z was much more widely accepted than a lot of other anime, and that's why a lot of people gravitate towards it. So, like, you know, I ain't judging you for if you have Dragon Ball Z as your top, but I would definitely say, hey, man, there's a lot more anime out there for you to sink your teeth into if you're willing to. So, you know,
please, like, so read your list again. Let me see your list for the fans so they know what's going on.
Okay, so my honorable mentions: Get Backers, and Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Mm-hmm.
Number 5, Mobile Suit Gundam: Iron Blooded Orphans. Number 4, Death Note. Number 3, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Number 2, Cowboy Bebop. Number 1, Yu Yu Hakusho.
Got you. So my two honorable mention is Megalobox. We have My Hero. Then number 5, I have Vinland Saga. Number 4, I have Yu Yu Hakusho. Number 3, I have Monster. Monster. Check it out. Trust me, it's not what you think it is. Number 2, Iron Blood Orphans. That could be number 1. And then Naruto. Naruto to Naruto Shippuden. You gotta love it. It's a great podcast, man. I love it.
Yeah, I like your list, man. You got a little variety in there.
You do. I see your list too. I see you, little. Even though Cowboy Bebop.
I like that. I gotta say, I came into this podcast thinking that you were going to give me some really left field, like
I was tempted.
Venom level nonsense.
See, like there you go again. There you go.
But but your list is. I like your list, man. I do. I'm not going to give you shit for your list.
You can. It's the GOAT.
No, I really can't.
One.
I really can't. No, I really can't.
The GOAT's number 1.
I really can't. But yeah,
I was going to troll you though. I was going to troll you, and I was going to have like, I guess the Afro Samurai joking with you. I was going to have my list being like Afro Samurai, like One Piece, like I was going to put Sailor Moon on my list.
You were not. That's what I would have known. It was bullshit.
I was gonna put Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer is pretty cool. I was gonna put like some random stuff, but I thought like Attack on Titans would be in your top 5, bro. I am a little disappointed.
Look, Attack on Titan.
Disappointed.
Attack on Titan has the potential to be in my top 5, but it has to finish. I have to see how it ends.
It's better than Cowboy Bebop.
I'm not gonna do this with you today. I'm not gonna do this with you today. Anyways, I think we'll call it a podcast on that note. Listeners, don't forget to like, subscribe, New Block Nerds podcast on Instagram, YouTube. If you guys have different lists, if you guys think our lists are shit, let us know. Tell us what your favorite anime is. Give us your top 5. Give us your top 10. If there's any that we didn't mention that you guys think we should check out, let us know. But Ron, bro, it's a pleasure as always, man.
Always, man. Hey, please, comment. We're not available on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, but like comment the ones you like because I am looking for new material. Like there's an anime, Arcane. It's a League of Legends anime. It's pretty good. That's on Netflix. Dota 2. I'm looking for some new stuff. Like drop it down for us. Let us know.
Yeah, let us know. Yeah, but thanks, man. We'll catch you guys on the next one.
Peace and love.